follow along at all, that would probably make it useful for you, because then we can kind of actually help you guys build smart plans and get you started on that.
Okay.
So if you do want to hop into command, that's where we'll be at. And then I know I had mentioned this to both of you during our tech orientations, but to use smart plans, it does require that you have contacts in your database. So just another important reason why you should keep people in there, whether that be past, future, or current clients.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, like, let's say
Mhm.
this is kind of separate, but I meet like other realtors.
Mhm.
I know that I can put them in there and like,
Yes.
just like, but let's say we're sending out flyers and
Mhm.
stuff. Normally, are they excluded from those things?
No, not necessarily. It depends on your relationship with the realtor, I feel like.
Should they be excluded from that stuff?
Something that pertains to home buyers, yes. If you're marketing a listing, it doesn't hurt to send it to a realtor, because then their clients might be interested in the listing.
Gotcha.
So listings for sure you could send to other realtors. Other than that, I would just kind of keep it up to your discretion. They're probably not going to care about, I don't know, market stats or something like that as
Right.
much as a consumer or clients might, because they have access to all of that as well. So.
Right. So I was just wondering, but but it's still good, even if we make those connections, to just put them all in.
Absolutely. It doesn't hurt to have anyone you can think of in your database, because you never know when they could be a client or just someone of use. Yeah. So anyhow, once we do get into command, Smart Plans is the fourth tab down on the left side. And again, like I mentioned, Smart Plans are basically like a drip campaign. So it's just a set of features that allows you to automate lead qualification and your overall workflow. Just using different features to integrate that. So first things first, when you get here, you'll see there's my Smart Plans tab and then library. Library is what will have pre-made templates made by other agents or Keller Williams. My Smart Plans will just show you either the Smart Plans you have made yourself, downloaded, or published under this tab. To start, I'm just going to click create, and we're going to go and make our own. So create will be in the top right.
Mine just says team plans.
Team plans. Okay, that's probably because you're under the Sarah Vic's Realty group, correct?
So I just have to switch to my personal.
You can do that. Otherwise, you could also create one under team plans. It should be basically the same.
I add like at least one contact just so I can like do that.
Yeah, why don't you? You can always add me too, because then you can test out and see, or you could add yourself. Sorry. Oh, you know why? It's because it's probably again because of your role and whatnot. And I was gonna show Sarah how to switch all the permissions so you can do things, but for today, why don't you just go to your personal account? Okay, sorry about that.
Because I remember I moved on my own.
Yes, I do. But I'll have Sarah add you with that permission. It's a little confusing how the whole team works. But if you really just want to add yourself to the contacts with your email and phone number, that way you can test it and see if it works, because you'll receive.
Okay.
Or you can add me too. Either one works.
Okay. So do I have to add a contact first?
Yep. Why? That'd make it easiest if you could just do that quick. And you remember how to do that? Awesome. Great. Yeah, that way when we're setting up like a email or a text today, we can actually see it happen, and I'll receive that from your smart plan. So that's always an option too. If you're like testing out how something's going to work, you could always just send it to yourself. I'll sometimes do that with certain ones, just to make sure it looks right, everything like that.
Okay.
Awesome. So yeah, now if we go back to Smart Plans, I'm going to click create in the top right, and then this will just have you input a name. This name is only visible to you, so it's just for you to keep track of what the Smart Plan is. So probably the most common Smart Plan that people use are like following up with clients they have previously sold a house to or helped sell their house. So I'm just going to say post-closing follow-up plan. Again, this name would just be applicable to what the plan is doing for you. But I'm going to click post-closing follow-up plan, and then click apply. It will then bring us into a blank smart plan. If it loads. So on the left side is where it's going to show the steps in the smart plan, and on the right side, it's going to show you the steps you can add to the smart plan. So as you can see right now, there's nothing on the left. So add steps and saves, then pick a trigger. A trigger is what would start the smart plan. So I'll show you more in depth when we make it, but you could start the smart plan by yourself, just adding a contact. Smart plans can start when you tag someone such as a buyer. It'll automatically add them to the smart plan and start it, or just tagging them as something else could also start it. But just since this is a post-closing follow-up plan, quote unquote, the first thing I'm going to do is click create task. And then you can see that will add that to kind of the timeline on the left side. And in the top right, it'll say day 1, meaning this is what's going to be done on the first day you add someone to this smart plan. So a task this would be a touch task. So this would be something that's reminding you to do something physically. It's not going to automatically do it for you, such as, sending like a gift card or flowers to this person after you've closed a sale with them. So task name, I'm just going to say send letter in the mail or something. And then task description, you'd obviously just put in what you're sending. So send post-closing, brochure or flyer or something. So then when I do start someone on a smart plan, since this says day 1 up in the top right, it's going to automatically put this task into my tasks tab right here on the first day, reminding me to send a letter or whatever I had put in here to that contact. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'm going to click save in the bottom right, that exclamation or the check mark. And then normally between steps, you're going to want to add the set delay. Otherwise, if you don't, it's just going to be back to back to back, meaning probably going to annoy the person. So I would always recommend you set at least a week delay in between steps in a smart plan. Some people will just do like a 6-month delay. You can do up to 369 days, as you can see. So if you just want to contact someone twice a year, such as someone that had bought a house, and you just want to keep in contact with them every now and then until they decide to purchase another home, that would be an option. For this, I'm just going to do 7 days. Since they had just closed, let's say we just want to keep in contact with them fairly regularly right away. So then after that, I'm going to click this sent email. I'm going to add that on the right side. And then you can see in the top right, this now says day 8, since we had that 7-day delay, meaning this is the email that's going to be sent to this person 8 days after you add them to the smart plan. Now for the subject, I'm just going to say, check. Again, this is all just for practice. And then the email content, you can do one of 2 things. You can do just a normal like text email, HTML, or if you were to click this designs tab, you could select a design from the KW designs, which is, I believe we've gone through that in our tech orientation, but that's where you can make like social posts, other graphics, and you could select a design to send via email. For right now, I'm just going to click simple. I'm just going to say, hey there, checking in to see how your home is or whatever. And then one thing I do want to mention, in these messages, you can use these things called merge fields. It's this option right here. Merge fields are going to automatically fill in the person's information if you use them. So if I were to put a merge field after, hey there, I'm going to put in contact first name. That's just going to automatically put in the contact's first name, no matter who you add to the smart plan, meaning you don't have to customize it every time you add a different contact.
Where was that link?
Merge fields, it's right here. Okay. So you can see there's a bunch of different options: contact, last name, email, phone, birthday.
I had an unexpected error.
Did it kick you out? No, I did not. Let me know if you're able to get back into that. That's too bad. That makes sense with the merge fields. Awesome. Yeah, so that's a useful thing to add in the emails to make it feel personable without actually having to edit it every time you're going to send it. Are you back in?
Yep, I refreshed.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why I kicked you out. Sorry about that.
And unexpected errors.
Huh.
It won't let me do that function.
Very strange. Well, I
Hmm.
guess for right now, maybe don't add it
I
and we
won't.
can take a look at that after. That's very strange.
So I won't do that. I'll try one more time.
Okay, sounds good. That's weird. Unexpected error.
No.
Are you using Safari or Chrome as your browser?
Safari.
That might
Is
be
it
it.
Chrome? I knew that, I forgot.
That's okay. I don't know why, but Keller Williams stuff
No,
just
Tony
doesn't
told me
like
that last time. I made
Safari.
a mental. I'll do that next. time.
Yeah, all good. We can see what we can get through today, but that honestly probably is it.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so as you can see, this is gonna be sent on the 8th day. So then, let's say we just want to add another way to contact them. I'm gonna add one more delay after this. I'm gonna do a longer delay this time. So let's say we want to wait like a month. So I'll put in 30 days. Save that. And then after that, I'm gonna click this plus for send text. Now, I assume either you aren't subscribed to Twilio yet. So this isn't something you have to add to any smart plans. You don't have to send text, just an option, like I had mentioned, if you'd like to. As you can see, since we had put in that 30-day delay, it'll be on day 38. And then this is going to be very similar to how the email works. Since I'm subscribed to Twilio, this will work for me. Again, the message, you just put in whatever you would like, and then you could use these merge fields again. So, just checking in.
Does it come?
So with Twilio, you actually select a number that isn't yours. Mine's a 507 number, but it's just a random number. I can show you after this. And then if someone were to, so it'd come from like a different number than your phone. And if someone were to text back, it would come up into these notifications up here, letting you know someone had texted back. So I had a few people text back from that mass text I'd sent out yesterday for a meeting. And then I got them up here. And then you could respond from there if you'd like. So it doesn't go to your phone. That's an option right now. And yeah, if you did want Twilio, it's like $3 to $5 a month. It's not that much if you would like to use it for this purpose or any other purpose. Do you know if Sarah has it?
She does not.
Okay.
There's a lot of things.
Yeah.
Old fashioned stuff.
Yeah. Well, I know she sends a lot of emails. When I just got her newsletter today, newsletter.
Yep.
Nice picture of you, her and Renee.
Yep.
Does that make sense with the text though, how it works? Basically the same as the email. And then a few other things we could add here. This make a call, I'm just going to add it to show you. This is basically the same thing as a task. It's just going to remind you in your tasks to make a call. Obviously, it's not going to make the call for you. So you could put in call, and then you'd use merge fields, first name, just to remind you who to call that day. So that's another option for steps to add. And then the other ones would be add to smart plan. So if you were to add the add to smart plan step, this is meaning it would add them to a different smart plan at the end of this smart plan. So really you could just have like a whole ladder of smart plans set up, meaning it's just going to keep adding them to like ones maybe that are not reaching out to them as much. So like for the first month after purchase, you could use a smart plan that's going to reach them once a week. Then after that, you could use a smart plan that reaches once a month and once every 6 months. So adding this step, you can see it's going to show me my other smart plans. So after they're to be finished with this one, after 38 days, it's just going to automatically add them to a different smart plan. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Any questions on that, Anthony?
How'd you get that there at the smart plan?
Yeah, just another one of these steps
Oh,
on the
okay.
right side.
Got it.
And then the one other thing you can do is restart smart plan. So a lot of these smart plans will have this step. You can restart it unlimited times, however many times you want. So meaning, after they go through this once, I can have it do it 5 times. So it's just going to run them through this whole thing 5 times. And then after that, it would be done. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Awesome. So I'm going to get rid of this add to smart plan. I'm going to get rid of restart smart plan. And then I'll just kind of show you how this works. So now once you do have this whole timeline laid out, you can move any of the steps by clicking the arrows at the bottom of them. So you can move up or down. And then, like I said, there's a few ways you can start these. The easiest way is clicking this, I guess it's kind of under my camera, but it's add contacts button up in the top right next to save. And then you could just search for whoever you wanted to add to it. So if I search for Anthony, I could add him to this smart plan. All good on this step, Joanna?
Since we didn't have it, or I didn't have it, I had to.
Where did you?
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
to-
I see what you're saying.
Where did you get to get to that point?
So it'd be this little button up here next to save that says add contact. Yep. And then that makes sense. And I can show you if you ever considered subscribing where that can be done. So then yep, add contacts, you can search whoever you want. I searched Anthony, I click add to smart plan. You can then start now or start on the following date. So I'm just going to click start now. I'm going to click confirm. And then it will add him to this. It'll probably take like 10 seconds. So it brought me back to my smart plans. I'm going to refresh. And then you can see, if someone's added because it'll show a 1 with like an I under contacts. If you click on this, you can see who's added to the smart plan. So Anthony's added. Since the first step of that plan was adding or that task to send them a letter, if I go to my tasks, I should have a task here that says, so as you can see here, since the first step of that smart plan was sending a letter to someone in the mail, it automatically put this task in here for me to do. So that's how the task portion of that work. It would just automatically put them into your tasks tab, which you can also see on the home page. Does that make sense? Awesome. Now let's see how the email and phone works, if that's cool with both of you, how to like automatically do that. So one of my favorite smart plans is if I go to library. Does that make sense for like how you make your own?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Now if I go to library, there's a really great smart plan made by Keller Williams. I think Sarah uses this for a few people. It's called Neighborhood Nurture. This one's bi-weekly Neighborhood Nurture. So if you're under library and just scroll down to you see Keller Williams, I'm gonna add smart plan. And then, yep, plan name, you could change it if you want. I'm gonna click download. And then that will add that to my smart plans.
I'm gonna let me download it.
Maybe other-
Really? What's it say?
This is great. It's grayed out. Once you click it,
Is there 2 download buttons there?
just download or cancel.
Huh. You know how it already has some smart plans that were made for you when you started your command?
Yep.
That could
Might be in there already.
So what if you switch the name? Just like go backspace 1, it still doesn't let you.
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's very strange.
Are you using Chrome?
Yes. Oh, is it already?
Oh, it's because it's already in there.
Okay.
So it's
So it's
probably,
in my smart plans.
yeah, it's probably at like the very bottom. That's where his was. Yep,
Yep.
so that's why it wouldn't let you download because you had already had the duplicate smart plan. Again, it just, you could delete it and then re-add it, or we can just go from
There.
what you already have added. I think it's just because when you log into Command for the first time, it like gives you like 8 smart plans. So anyhow, now somewhere wherever it is in my smart plans, if you click on edit, this one actually, it is made by Keller Williams, and the Keller Williams smart plans are not editable, sadly, but it'll still like do it for you. So this is why it's also a good idea to have yourself as a contact. So since you can't really see exactly what's happening, you can kind of test it out. Any plan made by another agent that's in the library can be edited. I don't know why the Keller Williams ones can't be at all. As you can see on the right, it says, this is a Keller Williams managed plan. Editing is limited for KW managed plans. But this one is called my biweekly neighborhood nurture. And this is just going to send a market update about someone's neighborhood to them if you add them. You got that, Anthony?
Yep.
Awesome. So I'm going to show you how to add a trigger event here. If you did click that pencil and you're in the smart plan, you can click add trigger event. So the category, contacts, trigger event, contact tag. This is like what I'd explained earlier. If you tag someone, it can automatically start them on a smart plan. So I'm just going to tag myself, and then I'll show you what this will just send me automatically. So select tags. I'm just going to select the tag neighborhood nurture. You might not have that. You can just select any tag you have. I think I'd made this tag, so you can just select any tag that's already there. I'm going to select neighborhood nurture. I'm going to click choose trigger. Confirm trigger. You guys got that?
Yep.
I'm not sure which one to click.
Oh, it doesn't matter since you can click any tag. Since you don't have any contacts that are already tagged, it won't send it to anyone. Now you can see the contact tag trigger. It says neighborhood nurture up at the top. So if I go to my contacts, and you can just tag yourself as what you had chosen that tag to be for the trigger. So I'm just going to search myself and add that neighborhood nurture tag. Click edit on my profile. And then add the neighborhood nurture to my tags. And you can add whatever tag you had selected. Were you able to do that? Yep. Awesome. So then if you click save, now at some point here in the next minute or two, it should automatically add me to that smart plan since I had tagged myself with the trigger I had chosen. So if you were to choose a trigger as, like a buyer, and you tagged anyone there, it's going to automatically start them on that smart plan. So yeah, you can see my contacts now. I'm on the smart plan. So at some point here, yep, it'll automatically send me an email because that's what this my biweekly neighborhood nurture does. So if I go here to my email, yep, you can see I received a biweekly neighborhood update since I had just tagged myself. And now this is just going to tell me about the neighborhood I live in. Did you have your email added to your contact?
Yeah, I just did it just now.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you might have had it previously added. I'm not entirely sure.
Well, like before the.
Yeah, before you tagged. I'm not entirely sure. What about you, Joanna? Did you have an email on your contact?
Yeah.
So it should send you that email at some point pretty soon here.
I don't have a little eye.
Okay. Do you want to refresh and see if it added? Otherwise, we can take it. Well, yeah, that's specifically what that smart plan does is it's just going to send a person a biweekly neighborhood update about their neighborhood. So as you can see, it just sent me an update about the neighborhood I live in Rochester, listing activity, neighborhood trends. And then it would just it automatically does all this for me. I didn't design anything. It just filled in. Let me know if you have any questions. All this information. I didn't do anything except add anyone to that smart plan. Just have an eye next to it now. Interesting. Could be that Safari, but
honestly, probably.
we can take a quick look.
Yeah, so I have.
Okay, so what you can also do if you'd like.